Well, good morning there, everybody. All right, it is crazy. I feel like I have been gone for so long, and I'm so sorry that last week we didn't get to have a session together. But I was in France for a top 10 trip that our company gives as reward to the top 10 people in the company. And so they take them and a guest to a destination. It's sort of like this amazing first class experience to places that you would never go probably on your own, and literally they just whisk you away and take your bags, and you get to eat great food and you get to have all these awesome experiences. But really, I think the best part about these trips and these rewards are that the people that you get to meet and the time you get to spend with the other people that are also in the top 10 of the entire company. And we all come into this trip as complete and total strangers. We don't really know each other other than what we may see on social media or the short interactions that we have at events. And so we don't really get to know one another. And so one of the highlights of the trip and the things that I absolutely love the most are when we sit around and we actually tell our stories. Not this sort of like the story that you see on social media, right? Like all the just kind of the highlights of it, but when you really get to hear what makes people tick and what sort of propelled them to go full force and all in with their business, and what were some of the obstacles that they had to overcome in order to get to where they are today. And for me, that's my favorite part, because I like to know like why people are the way they are, and why do they react to certain situations the way that they do, and how do they become the brand that they have become through this process. And so for me, I just love getting to know other people, and it's such a light bulb moment, because I'm like, oh, that's why you are the way you are, or oh, I see why that's your brand. And so it's fun. It's a lot of fun. So anyways, coming back from this trip and kind of reflecting on the past week and all of the memories and all the great stuff, like obviously I've got crazy jet lag. But one of the things that I just really have been thinking about is, as I step back into my day-to-day, is this word. There's this one word, and it's probably come up in my personal development yesterday. It came up in my devotional. It actually came up in an audio that I was listening to. It's this word called passion. And then, as I was doing my job yesterday and I was catching up and I was cleaning up my emails and I was, writing some blog posts, I actually had an email come in from somebody that turned in their resignation. They turned in their cancellation. And at first, as I sort of went through and I read this email that they sent me, it was very brash and it was very harsh, and it was very sort of like, this is why, this business doesn't work, and this is why, I don't want to be a part of this organization and this company. And as I read a little bit deeper, there was a couple of things that really stuck out. Number one, this individual was frustrated because they weren't having success, right? This person was frustrated because they didn't actually believe in what they were doing. And the person actually said in the email, I don't believe in the product. I don't see why it works. And so then as I go and I start looking at this person's social media and I start looking, it's like, they aren't living the lifestyle. They aren't practicing what they're preaching. They aren't sharing their success. They aren't adding any value. It's just like there wasn't anything really there that kind of helped connect the dots. And as I sort of pulled away and I took a deeper look at it, the bottom line there is that there was no passion, and it was not coupled with belief. And so I sat down this morning and I started to think, as I was doing my workout, this email kept going through my mind, and I started to say to myself, okay, what do people need to have in order to be successful in building an online brand? And that's what all of you are, right? In network marketing, you are influencing other people. And when I first started my business, 7 years ago, social media was very different than it is today. And today, it's not about selling somebody a product, right? That's the result of the relationship that is built. But what people are looking for is they are looking for a solution to their problem. And I believe that whatever company you represent, you are holding in your hand a solution to a problem. Whether it may be somebody has thinning hair and it's a hair care product, or whether somebody has, problems with sunspots or anti-aging, they're looking for an anti-aging regimen, or, they're looking for a certain lipstick, or they're looking for health and fitness, whatever it may be, you essentially have a solution that you are promoting to other people, right? Right? And so in order for you to effectively connect people to the solution that you have to offer, you have to be an advocate of that. And you have to be such an advocate, like you truly believe in the product. And how do you develop belief? It's through experience. And I believe that a lot of times we don't allow ourselves to have this deep experience. We just think, oh, this is a great product. I can come in and I can sell it. And guess what? People are not going to buy something that there is no belief attached to. And you, my friends, every single one of you that is listening to this right now, I want you to call yourself an influencer, because that is your job. Your job is not to sell, but your job is to develop a connection to the people that follow you, or the people that are going to find you. And your job is to connect to people like you that are looking for a solution to a problem. And I believe we need to shift the way that we think a little bit about this. So number one, as you are starting a business opportunity, the first thing that you have to have is belief. You develop belief through experience. So whatever company that you are going to be a part of, I want you to say to yourself, I will not allow myself to become a part of that company unless I'm willing to invest in the products that I am about to promote. And then I am going to use the products and I am going to journal my experience. And when I say journal, I am going to post on social media. And when I say post on social media, you're not going to sell your product. You're going to share your experience. And what you do is you share on day one the problem that you currently have and how you see that this certain experience is going to provide a solution and what you're excited for. And then every day, you're going to talk about the product, how you use it. You're going to talk about troubleshooting. You're going to talk about the mistakes you made, the things you did wrong, how you screwed up, how you rectified it. And then at the end of every single week or every day, you're going to talk about the experience. And I don't want you to sell it. I just want you to give a review. And every day, your job is to give a review on your experience, right? And if at the end of 30 days, if you have done whatever product or program or regimen it is that your company is prescribing, and you've done it for 30 days and you are seeing changes and you are believing in that product, what starts to happen? Your belief begins to build, your passion begins to build, because you're saying to yourself, everybody needs to know about this product. I need to shout it from the rooftops. I need to tell people, if you are, if you're a mom with young children and you're struggling to get to the gym, you've got to try this product because it is working for me. And you know why it's working for me? Because I don't have to drive 20 minutes. I don't have to put the kids in the child care and then worry about them screaming and crying the whole time I'm in there. And guess what? I can actually do my workout before the kids get up, so I never have to leave the house. I'm saving myself like 2 hours every day. And so you're talking about it because it's your experience. Same thing with nutrition. Same thing with supplements. If you aren't using them, if you aren't a product of the product, it is really hard to promote something and then tell other people why they should use it if you aren't doing that yourself. All right. So the first thing is passion, and obviously the belief. The belief is there, and when you believe in something, passion oozes from you. It exudes from your body because you're so excited. And if I think about myself, when I started my business, I did not have an Instagram account. I didn't have a following on Facebook. I had less than 100 friends. I wasn't an influencer in any industry. I was a stay-at-home mom. But I was so passionate about the experience that I had had that I started sharing. Oh my gosh, here's a great recipe. You should try this. This is a healthy snack. Hey, did you know what a proper portion size actually looks like? Here's what I was eating. Here is what's actually healthy. Did you know that not all fruits are created equal? I was educating people. And as I was reading personal development, I was educating people on books and why they worked for me. And as my business grew, everything that I was learning, I was sharing on social media. And I became an influencer because I was so passionate about it that I just shouted it from the rooftops. So my friends, are you lacking those two things? That's where you can start right now. And then the next thing is you have to be willing to be bold about this. And when I say bold, I mean you can't be afraid to put yourself out there. You can't be afraid to make your social media public. You know, you can't be afraid to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to journal my life every day. I'm going to put it on my stories. I'm going to show people what I do in my downtime. I'm going to show people what I eat. I'm going to show people my skincare regimen. I'm going to show people, you know, what I do for relaxation, how I get in the positive mindset. Like, are you showing people how you live your day-to-day life? And if you say no, then a social media business may not be for you. But if you say to yourself, yes, I'm willing to do it, I just don't know how, then that can be taught. That can be learned. You can grow. There are so many resources out there that will help you to get the skills you need to grow your following, to grow your reach, to connect with the right people. You just have to say to yourself, I want to do this. This is something I'm excited about. Teach me how to do it. If you are teachable, you are coachable, you are willing to learn, you are willing to fine tune and tweak, then anything can be taught. All right. Now, the last thing is you have to say to yourself, look, there are a million other people out there that are fashion bloggers. Why would people come to you? Why would people want to follow you? And I'm using fashion bloggers as an example because there are 1,000 fashion bloggers. And the minute you start following one fashion blogger on Instagram, all of a sudden your explore page is all these other fashion bloggers. And then you realize there are so many other fashion bloggers out there. How in the heck could I possibly start a blog and become a fashion blogger myself? Well, guess what, my friends? Yes, you can, because you offer something unique and different. And so this is really where you have to say to yourself, what is going to set me apart from the rest? And you make a list. Who are you as a person? Your brand is you. So if I were to say, okay, I'm going to be a fashion blogger, I'm going to be a fashion blogger of boy moms. I'm going to talk about graphic tees. I'm going to talk about coffee mugs with quotes on them, right? I am going to be, you know, I'm going to talk about, you know, my love for Nordstrom's, you know, my love for Tory Burch. I am going, like, my brand would be different. You may be a fashion blogger that does only Target or only Walmart or only TJ Maxx finds. And so each one of us has a unique sort of demographic. I'm not going to talk about having infants and baby, you know, stuff, but I'm going to be talking about boy clothing or, you know, sports stuff, or like, so my network, my market is going to be mid-30s, where you may not have children yet, or maybe you have young children and infants. So you're, you know, have a different demographic. The bottom line is that your brand is you, and there is nobody out there like you. You're unique and you're different. You can have a boy mom that might be the exact same age as me and she's Christian. And then you may have another boy mom that is the same age as me and she uses cuss words all the time. And guess what? You're going to attract different people based on your brand. So if you're following people and you're allowing the fact that there are a lot of other people in your network that are having success, say to yourself, like, oh my gosh, there's market saturation. I can't be successful at this. You are looking around way too much. And it's time to start unfollowing. And it's time to make a list of who you are and what your brand is and stay in your own lane. And if there are people out there that maybe mess with your mojo or mess with your confidence, then it's time to put their, kind of draw that line and say, I'm not going to follow those people because they make me think that I can't do this business. And I certainly absolutely can. And then the last thing, guys, when it comes to sort of moving into that influencer sort of realm, is that you have to become good at the visual. So people are attracted to visuals. That's what Instagram is. Your Instagram feed is better looking photos. You can take better looking photos on your phone. Like, I use all of my Instagram is done on my iPhone 8 Plus. I think the iPhone is the new one, the X. the 10X. It's amazing, right? It takes great photos, but you don't have to be a photographer. But what you do have to do is you have to get creative. You can't do the exact same picture every single time. Your newsfeed should not look like, a product catalog, because people aren't going to connect with that. It should always stick within your brand, but the visualization part of it is where you up your game. So if you're trying to become an influencer and you have grainy, dark selfies and they're all the same and they're not eye-catching and they're kind of like ugly, people are not going to follow that brand. It's never going to grow to the capacity that is going to allow you to turn that into an income. So there is that visual part of it. Again, if you have the willingness to learn the skills, you can go out there and you can Google search how to take better Instagram photos and, how to create eye-catching images for your brand, all of that. There's so many free things out there that you can find through YouTube and through Google searches and other bloggers that are out there writing about these topics that you almost don't even need to pay for a course, because you can find it all yourself, right? And through trial and error, you can begin to build a brand that influences, that gets people to purchase your product because they believe in you and they know that you believe in it too because they watch you. That credibility absolutely is going to grow over time. And if you are sitting here right now being 30 days into building your business online, saying to yourself, I'm not making any money and I'm putting in all of this time and it's not giving me a return on my investment, well, guess what? Welcome to being an entrepreneur, because that is what it is like to build an online business, a brick and mortar business. Any business out there is never going to give you instantaneous $1 million income, right? It is going to take you time and energy to develop that credibility, that trust, that brand, and the story. So you're going to have to dig in a little bit. You're going to have to be patient. Doesn't mean you're not going to make any money. It just you're not going to climb all the way to the top in the first 30 days. It is going to take you time under tension. All right. Okay. So as we kind of recap all of this, what do we need first? We need the passion. You've got to have passion, and that means that you've got to believe in the products that you are promoting. And how do you have belief? It's through experience. It's through creating your own story. All right. Then it doesn't matter your skill. It doesn't matter where you're at right now. If you are coachable, meaning you are willing to learn, you can take an Instagram account from 0 to 10,000, by learning the things that are going to be taught to you through the training in your company, or the training that you're going to go out there and acquire from your sponsoring upline individual, right? Then the last thing is you have to be willing to share your daily life on social media and not be afraid of that, right? So you have to go out there, share the ups and the downs, and stay in your own lane of your brand. And if you take some of these principles today, and maybe you just sit down and you kind of write out, what's my brand? Who do I want to attract? Maybe you kind of do an inventory on your own social media, and are you selling? Are you sharing? Do you have the belief? Is the passion there? And then I want you just to sort of make a subtle little shift in the way that you begin to share, and just start saying, how can I inspire? How can I teach? How can I motivate? And how can I uplift today? And let me know if that makes a difference in the results that you get. And I want you to do it, and I want you to commit to this for the next 90 days. You're not allowed to make a decision of whether it works or doesn't work until 90 days has gone by. All right, so this is your 90-day challenge. I hope you guys are in. We're going to change this up a little bit. I would love to hear back from you and hear how this is going. And so I just want to say thank you so very much for tuning into today's episode. I hope this was helpful. As always, drop me a comment, write a review. Let me know if you liked the episode, and if you have future suggestions for what you would like to hear on my Tuesday live Business Tip Tuesdays and in the podcast, go ahead and send me an email at mjmitro@gmail.com, and I would be more than happy to add it to the list of future episode content. All right, guys, have a great Tuesday, and I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.